This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, and Matt Allen took the day off, so today I'm your KTAR car guy. Bumper to Bumper Radio is heard every Saturday from 11 to noon, and at Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you've got questions, we've got answers, and don't worry, it's not just me today. I brought in some special guests. I've got Jeff and Curt from Curt's Auto Repair, who's up at Bell Road, 2222 West Bell Road. I got that right?
You got it right, Dave.
It's good to have you, fellas. These guys do great auto repair up there, and they've been part of our network for a long time. So if you've got questions, and today we're going to talk about diesel, because not only do they fix everything, but they do a lot of diesel work. You can give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And for the shy types, you can text us at 411-923. Today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, we're going to do some fact or fiction. Of course, we're taking your phone calls, we're taking your texts, and diesel repair. So, diesel repair is not something I know a ton about. So people ask me, oh, you're like the car guy. You should know something about diesels. I don't know nothing.
Well, you know more than you want to admit to, I'm sure. But yeah, there is a little bit of specialty stuff there, and that's why we got Jeff here.
Okay, good. So, the thing about diesels, I know when I have people at my shop, we'll do some light diesel repair, change out small things, do oil changes, stuff like that. But if it needs injectors, we're certainly not going to do that at my shop. So, but everyone who's got a diesel has like a diesel guy they go to, right? Yeah. And the thing about diesels is you drive a lot further to get your diesel truck worked on than you do to get your Honda Civic worked on. I think that's the case.
Yeah, we had one yesterday that drove from Buckeye, I think, that was one of our regulars.
One of your regulars.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good idea. When you're talking about a diesel truck, we're talking before the show, they were talking about a guy that did his own, he wanted to do his own injectors in his driveway on his diesel. And that's a project I have not taken on yet.
Well, you have to have a diesel first, Dave.
Yeah, that's true, too. So what did he do? He used anti-seize on the injector or something and plugged up the injector and it hydrolocked the motor?
Yeah, so he put anti-seize compound on the threads where the fuel line threads into the injector.
Okay.
And the anti-seize actually held the injector open and filled the cylinder of that engine up with diesel fuel.
Oh,
and when he hit the key, it didn't crank. So he thought he had a bad starter or something. And so he got his buddy with another truck and a tow rope. It was a stick shift, and so he thought he'd put it in gear and drop the clutch and kind of like a push start theory.
And it wasn't yippee, it was ba-boom.
It was ba-boom, yeah. Pieces of engine were coming out the sides of engines, and it was really cool.
That is not, it's just the things you don't expect to see. There's a lot of projects that people can do in their driveway, and they can watch some stuff on YouTube, and but you got to know when you're going too far, because every now and then, that's not one I think I would want to take on in my driveway after I watch the YouTube video. Although I could probably get through it.
You could do it, Dave.
So anyway, what when it comes to diesel repair, what is the most common question you guys see in your lobby every day? People that own diesel trucks.
It's probably pretty similar to gasoline stuff. It's usually, why is this light on?
Mm-hmm.
It says reduce power, I can't go anywhere.
Okay.
This light's on, should I tow it or should I drive it? And that kind of stuff is.
What's the maintenance? I mean, what has changed? I mean, diesel's changed a lot in 10 years. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, which was a long time ago. That's when diesel, fuel crisis and diesels, and diesels were terrible back then. I mean, horrible. My parents sweared by them. We had a diesel Audi back then, and then we had a 300D Mercedes. Mm-hmm. My dad was proud of that baby.
Yeah.
and I mean, my brother, it was his first car, the hand-me-down, and that thing wouldn't get out of its own way.
It rear-ended itself, yeah.
And we do a lot of truck transmissions, so a lot of diesel trucks, and we do the transmissions on them. And a diesel customer, he seems like a little bit of a different guy. He's got a little more, he's a little bit more of a gearhead sometimes. And these trucks are fast. I mean, I'm impressed. They're like the old days. This wasn't your grandpa's diesel.
No.
That's what you drive. You drive diesel, Curt?
Yeah, we have in the business. We have three of them. I got the 15. You seen it 3 years ago when I brought it over.
Yeah.
And then Jeff drives the 03 that you've done a tranny on a while back.
The white one?
Yeah, it's got 400,
Holy
almost
smokes.
470 on it now. And then recently I bought a 95 from a customer with a 12 valve in it that Eric's driving.
Okay.
So we have several of them.
Oh my God! So you guys got diesel flowing through your veins then. What's funny about your truck? Curt bought a truck from me bought a truck transmission from me, but it was a truck that I had fixed from the guy he bought it from.
Yeah,
because he brought it to me, so I want to get the transmission done, and I put the VIN number on my computer. I said, I've already worked on this truck.
Yeah, you done a transfer case or a front end or something.
Yeah, differential.
Yeah,
it had 450,000 miles on it. That's incredible. So they last a long time, apparently.
Hope so.
I guess at 450, it's just barely broken in.
Yeah.
Well, how often do you change oil on a diesel truck?
But so we're going to put our oil change stickers on our standard oil at about 5,000 miles.
Okay.
Now, my truck that's got 465,000 miles, we've personally taken a little longer than that, sent it oil to the lab for testing.
Uh-huh.
And I know at 12,000 miles, it's still good. However, a lot can happen in that 12,000 miles in the way of oils leaking out and fuel contamination and that kind of stuff. So we're still going to recommend roughly 5,000 miles.
5,000 mile oil changes. Okay. And these are the things that I don't, I'm just curious. I got the guys here.
Yeah.
So now, Curt's Auto Repair. How long have you been in business, Curt?
30 years.
30?
Actually, almost 31.
Wow. Makes me feel. I've been working on cars for over 20 years, but I've been in business for myself 11 years. So I think 11 years feels like a long time. I can imagine what 30 years would feel like.
Man, he's got us working for him, Dave. It's been a breeze.
Yeah. Right. You guys make Curt look good, huh?
Oh yeah.
Just
well, we try.
Somebody's got it.
For sure. That is a long time. So what year did you start working on cars, Curt?
My first job I done for hire, I was 17 years old, and I was born in '54. You do the math, Dave. You're pretty good.
All right. What was the first car you worked on? What kind of car was it?
It was a '65 Comet. I put a throwout bearing in it. The one I worked on for hire. The first one I worked on, my dad wasn't real big on loaning me cars, and I had a real heavy right foot.
Okay.
So I started tearing up my own cars at 15 and a half years old.
Okay. I remember breaking my parents' cars, for sure. That's how I ended up working on cars. Cause I would break my parents' cars and try and fix it before they got home.
Yeah, you only that's how you got quick, too, because you only had an hour and a half to live.
That's true. Did you guys ever sneak out the car without permission? Sounds like you did.
Not my dad's, but I did have a key to mine, and I wasn't supposed to drive it because I didn't officially have my learner's permit yet.
Yeah.
And mine have made it lap around the block a few times.
That's funny. How about you? You
I
can
never
admit
did.
it now. We're past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations, 7 years. He's free.
My dad was more intelligent.
Yeah.
He kept all keys away from us and guarded them with our lives, and we knew if we touched them, we were dead.
I hope my dad's not listening because I took his car out a handful of times. Maybe he assumes. I remember the first time he pulled over, I didn't have my license yet, and he said, "You want to drive the car?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And I started driving. He's like, "Where'd you learn how to drive stick like this?"
Your driveway.
Yeah, I learned on your car when you were sleeping. So anyway, but it's funny. I think when you're a gearhead, you can't help but work on cars.
No.
I mean, I think that's what ends up happening is that, I was destined to work on cars. I left auto repair for a few years, but it's like a boomerang. Brought me right back.
Yeah.
So anyway, now I'm talking to you guys about diesel repair and Curt's Auto Repair. So if you guys are looking for a great shop and you're anywhere near, well, if you got a diesel truck, it doesn't matter how far away you are. Good auto repair and diesel repair is hard to come by. So if you guys are looking for a good shop, you can find Curt's Auto Repair at bumpertobumperradio.com. Bumper to Bumper Radio is a show where we educate the public on some of the basics for car repair, some of the things you need to know. We're trying to help relieve the anxiety. And one of the biggest things is how to have a good relationship with a shop to help relieve anxiety. And so you can have conversations with people, you can feel comfortable. People are nervous about taking advantage of the auto shop. So we want to educate you about it. And Bumper to Bumper Radio, there's a website with shops that Matt and I would gladly send you to where you can be treated like family. And your guys' shop, almost everyone there is family, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff's my nephew. People think he's my son, but he's my nephew. He'd never claim me as a dad.
And it's not unusual, though, that your wife's knocking on their door after their first trip to your shop to say thank you.
Yeah, she does that just to make sure that Jeff does his job.
Okay.
Somebody's
all right, so looking after you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's like old school customer service that you don't hear about anymore. And I don't know that you could get that from a big old chain outfit, but I mean, they're very good at what they do, but they still have some mom and pop feel to it, where people are going to treat you like family, and we realize that people are, when you're talking to somebody, I always have women come into my shop and they say, well, I'm always scared of auto shops because I'm going to get taken advantage of because I'm a woman. And that's a common comment that I hear on a regular basis. And I don't necessarily get that, any shops in our network.
No.
We see a female customer come in our shop. That could be like our sister.
Yeah. Yes.
That could be our daughter. That's somebody's wife. I mean, that's important to us. So it's not. No one's going away to take advantage of you because you're a woman. We actually go the extra mile to make sure you feel like you're not being taken advantage of. So, and that's something you can feel safe. If you're looking for a great shop, bumpertobumperradio.com, go to Curt's Auto Repair. So when we come back, we're taking phone calls. If you got questions about your diesel or anything, 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus that carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozzella for Campus Body Salon. The right to choose a repair facility is yours, not the insurance company's. We work with all insurance companies, but we work for you. Campus Body Salon, Bumper to Bumper Radio approved and independently family owned and operated since 1973. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, and Matt Allen took the day off, so I hope he rests up because next week I'm taking the day off. But anyhow, not to leave you stranded, which is me, I had to bring in help. So I've got Jeff Rock and I've got Curt Rock from Curt's Auto Repair. They're up at 2222 West Bell Road, and they are a member of Bumper to Bumper Radio. And they run a great auto repair shop. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
And if I don't know the answer, they got the answer. So even if it's hard, if it's really hard, I'll make something up. But give us a call at 602-277-5827. That's 602-277-KTAR. You don't have to be shy. Anything on your car, we can help you at least point you in the direction. If you got some sort of weird vibration, you got a power window doesn't work, you can't get through emissions, you got a little yellow light on, you got a big red light on. The red ones aren't actually bigger, but they should feel bigger to you when it's a red light on your dashboard. You don't want to ignore those. So just give us a call, 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Ken in Phoenix. He has a 2011 Buick Lacrosse. Let me see if I can get these phones working right. Hey, are you there, Ken? Hey, Ken, welcome to Bumper Radio. How can we help you with your Buick? Maybe I got the wrong button. Hey, you there, Ken?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
All right, better. How can we help you on your Buick Lacrosse?
Thank you for taking my call. I'll be real brief. I got that Lacrosse that normally that car has been just a dream. It's been purring. I take real good care of it. But I went in for an oil change, my regular oil change yesterday, and the guys tell me that I have a leaking water pump. My rear lower control arm bushing is split, and that I have a rear transmission mount broken. And now, I didn't know any of that. You know, the water pump thing, I can kind of see that because I did see a little run of water one day. I thought it was condensation. But my question is about how much of those repairs, where could I get them done, and what's the order I should do those three in?
Hey, Ken, how many miles are on your Buick?
80,000.
So you've got the water pump, you've got the control arm issue, and then there was one more?
Tranny mount.
The rear transmission mount is broken.
Okay, I think I'm going to see what Jeff has got to say on that. If you had to pick one, Jeff, which one would you go for first?
Well, so we're going to generally prioritize in terms of safety first, then in terms of reliability, and then maintenance stuff. And so my first question is, how bad are the control arm bushings? Because that could be a safety concern.
For sure.
If it's a more, you'd have to ask the shop who looked at it, because obviously it's hard to see anything for sure. But generally, if it's a safety issue at this point in time, I'd want to address that. Then the water pump will probably be a reliability concern very, very soon.
Yeah, so the water pump's a big deal. Now, for me, I'm thinking all those sound important to me.
Yes.
Okay. Because the control arm bushings, or control arms, that is a thing. But I see people ignore leaks on their engine, and they're just little leaks here. But I tell you what, it doesn't really matter today. Well, it does matter, but it's not that hot today. But I tell you what, you start getting here March, April, it starts to heat up. You're going to cook a motor real quick in your water pump job, and I'm just going to throw out numbers for the sake of numbers. Maybe it's a $500 repair or an $800 repair. It just became a $2,000, $2,500 repair because we ignored it. So. And not only that, you start getting air in the system. It starts to do more damage to the system that it's hard to recover. You start taking out radiators and hoses and plastic fittings and all that stuff. So that's high on my list, but all those are important. One of the things I see with mounts is that people ignore bad mounts. And the thing that happens with bad mounts is your engine's it's not going to pop out of the car, but it's traveling further than it needs to. And you said transmission mount, but they're all still drivetrain mounts.
Sure.
So everything's shifting around back underneath the hood, and you're stretching wiring harnesses, you're stretching radiator hoses, and you're taxing everything a whole lot more. So all three of those are very important. As far as where to get it done, if you don't have a shop, bumpertobumperradio.com. If you're in Phoenix, you're probably not too far down the road from Curt's Auto Repair. They'd be more than happy to take care of you. So thanks so much for the call, Ken. We're going to go with Pete in Phoenix. He's got a 2008 Subaru Forester. How can we help you, Pete? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It has a four-cylinder engine, and check engine light comes on. The computer says it's due to a fuel vapor leak. This started happening about 5 years ago, and what it does is cuts off the cruise control, which is annoying to me. So what I do is disconnecting the battery, reconnecting it, and at first it would happen to stay off for about 3 months, and gradually started coming on more frequently. Within the last year, I've had the vapor leak test done on it because Subaru says the repair for this thing is around $900. So I had an independent that I've gone to that specializes in Subaru. They did the smoke test. Couldn't find anything. And recently I took it through emissions, and I always make sure that check engine light's not on when I go through emissions. But this time it came on going over to emissions. So I disconnected and thought they're probably going to detect this, but I've had about enough. And I got over there, and they said, well, the computer's not ready to take a reading on your car. You can either come back or we can do the tailpipe test. They did the tailpipe test, and it passed. So what do you think?
Wow. I mean, I'm thinking here, an evap leak in the cruise control. Am I missing something, or are those unrelated?
Sometimes the manufacturers will disable the cruise control with a check engine light. I'm
Okay.
assuming his car is one of those.
Okay, so maybe that going on there. Now, evap leaks, are those always easy to figure out?
They can be tough.
They can be really tough, right?
$900, Dave. I'm thinking that Subaru knows that there's one of the valves on top of the tank or something leaking. He's probably looking at a tank issue.
For sure, Pete. So here's I mean, the modern car, they don't want to take fuel vapor and put it out in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually worse emissions than the stuff coming out of your tailpipe. And so people don't realize that. They go, oh, you can ignore that. That's just that, you're polluting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going on. And so raw fuel vapor is going out into the atmosphere, and they don't want that happening. So your car, as a matter of self-testing, will pressurize that fuel system, and then it will check for leaks. It'll see how long it takes that pressure to bleed off. Sometimes they pull a vacuum on the fuel system. There's different methods in which the manufacturers do it, but it's seeing a leak, and most commonly, if it's on top of the fuel tank's got to come out. It's a big repair, but they're hard to diagnose.
Yes.
And so they all work a little bit differently too.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm sure at the dealer, one of the things that's interesting about a dealership, they can get tunnel vision on because they see the same vehicle over and over again, but then also they're very familiar sometimes with the pattern failures.
Sure.
So that, definitely comes into play. Do you guys see a lot of evap leaks in your shop?
A lot.
I think it's probably, I would say it's probably the check engine light that's on in most cars. And it's the most ignored too, I would say that.
Correct. It probably is the most common check engine light we deal with.
The thing about the check engine light, folks, if you got one on, you go, oh, the check engine light's on, and you may ignore it. And it may be ignored for years, but that check engine light, it doesn't discriminate. So if it's on, you can't tell that there's something else going on. Yeah. And it's not, when the check engine light doesn't mean you got to slam on the brakes and pull over and get into your auto shop right away. I mean, it's yellow. It's, pump the brakes. Let's slow down a little bit. We got to take the car in the shop to get it checked out. It's not like the red light that I'm talking about. Yellow is caution, red is not good. So red lights are going to be brake lights, like the emergency brake is on, or if you got a few, brake level issue, it's going to turn on that. That's an important one. And then the no oil pressure, that's got to be a red light. I think it is.
That's red.
Yeah, you can ignore that one.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Just put your foot into it heavier. So, and then I'm trying to think, what are the lights? Battery lights are red.
Yeah.
You're not going to go very far with a bad battery. I mean, you could. So, anyhow, when we come back, we're going to be taking more phone calls at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
There is nothing more important than family. Hi, Curt Rock here for Curt's Auto Repair. I brought my nephew and general manager, Jeff Rock, to help spread the word.
Thanks, Pops. Yep, the more things change, the more they stay the same at Curt's. Family owned and operated, our ASE Master Techs and family ethics have earned us a perfect Better Business Bureau record for over 30 years. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue in Bell, or online at mycarhurts.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic, if your car hurts, take it to Curt's.
Grand Canyon University proudly unveils its newly remodeled championship golf course right in the heart of Phoenix. Masterfully redesigned by the renowned architect John Fott, the GCU golf course is a plush oasis of fairways, beautiful greens, and mature trees. The brand new 22,000 square foot clubhouse features a restaurant and bar, fully equipped pro shop, and luxury event space. Come and experience a championship golf course with affordable rates. Visit gcugolf.com to book your tee times.
Hi, I'm Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission. Well, you may have come to know us for being a transmission expert. What you may not know is that our customers regularly ask us why we don't perform repairs to the rest of the vehicle. You guys are so great. Why work on just the transmission? Well, the requests became hard to ignore, and 3 years ago, we began to build an infrastructure to perform general automotive repair. We weren't going to do general repair if we couldn't be great at it. So in 2013, we began the soft opening of Tri-City Auto Repair on Smith Road. We brought on ASE Master Technicians to work side by side with our Master Transmission Technicians. The combination of the best in both of these trades has created a synergy that allows us not only to fix your transmission, but to service and repair your whole car, and to do it well. Let's face it, the modern car has become so integrated. We believe all of our expert knowledge puts us ahead of the curve. Find us at tricitytransmission.com or tempeautorepairshop.com. That's tempeautorepairshop.com.
KTAR FM, Glendale, Phoenix. KTAR News on 92.3 FM, Arizona's news station.
KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic now.
It's 11:30. I'm Atlin Hassard. Here's our top story. U.S. and Russian officials trading barbs at a security conference in Munich.
Russia's foreign minister made light of the U.S. indictment of a group of Russians named in a plot to disrupt the 2016 election.
Until we see the facts, everything else is just blabber. I'm sorry for this expression.
Shortly afterwards, President Trump's national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, told the same audience that Russian meddling was beyond dispute.
With the FBI indictment, the evidence is now really incontrovertible.
The special counsel accused 13 Russians and 3 companies in a historic indictment. Jennifer Eccleston, ABC News, London.
As victims' families call for stricter gun laws in the wake of the Florida school shooting, Vice President Mike Pence saying the Justice Department is already working with agencies across our government to study the intersection of mental health and criminality. Quote, not surprisingly, voices in Washington and in the media are running to their predictable debates, but I'll promise you the President and our entire administration are going to remain focused on bringing renewed energy to making our schools safe. Let's get a check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels from the KTAR Traffic Center.
Well, thank you, Alan. We do have a couple of surface street wrecks, one in Tempe on Broadway just east of Priest Drive, the other on 16th Street and Baseline. This report brought to you by Smokey's Garage Door. Is your garage door squeaking, rattling, or just not working? The pros at Smokey's Garage Door will get you back on track fast. Free estimates and same-day service available. Just click Smokey'sGarageDoor.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
It's 62 degrees in Surprise, sunny skies with a high today of 72. That weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Atlin Hassard on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Whether you're a lifelong dirt road driving, tackle box toting weekend warrior or an outdoor lifestyle rookie, from the desert to the mountains of our great state, Mike Russell has the outdoors in Arizona covered. This afternoon at 1 with Get Outdoors. Only on KTAR News 92.3 FM and streaming live on the KTAR News app.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Hello, this is Jerry Colangelo. When I moved to Phoenix in 1968, the iconic golf courses at the Wigwam and the Arizona Biltmore golf clubs were a few of my favorites. A few years ago, my partners and I purchased these historic Arizona golf courses with the goal of putting the shine back on these extraordinary properties. Today, I'm proud of what has been accomplished and invite you to experience the Wigwam Golf Club and the Arizona Biltmore Golf Club for yourself. Visit wigwamgolf.com or azbiltmoregc.com for tee times and information.
Here's what Carrie from Tempe had to say about her experience with Good Works Auto Repair.
As soon as you realize, I need to get some work done on my car, I'm sure the thought occurs to you that you're about to get taken for a ride. I used to share the same sentiment and wondered if the shop was going to make something up and have me spending hundreds of dollars instead of $30 I was planning on for a simple oil change. This is one of the reasons I will only go to Good Works Auto Repair. Because I trust them. Putting trust in an auto shop didn't come easily. It's been built over several visits with them doing exactly what was needed, not coercing me into unnecessary work. Ask them for an oil change and a safety inspection, they do just that. No baloney, list of filters, belts, and whatchamacallits that need replacing on my new car. Thank you, Good Works Auto Repair, for being there for me when I need you.
Appreciate the kind words. It's always a pleasure. Glenn Hayward here. Come experience what award-winning auto service should be. Good Works Auto Repair in Tempe, or visit us at goodworksautorepair.com.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio on this fine Saturday. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is off, so I brought in Curt Rock and Jeff Rock from Curt's Auto Repair. They're one of the fine shops at bumpertobumperradio.com. This show is about educating you on auto repair, and we also have a network of shops that support this show to put it on every Saturday to teach you about cars, and it's bumper-to-bumperradio.com. You'll find Curt's Auto Repair there, but one of the other shops we were just talking about during the break is I-17 Collision. So we've got body shops on there as well, and you guys use I-17 Collision.
Yeah, Kevin's a great guy.
So if you're looking for a body shop, bumper-to-bumperradio.com. We've got 3 great body shops there that you can find. In Scottsdale, we've got a body shop, First Class Auto Body, and then in Tempe, he's down the street from me, and who I use, if I'm not using Kevin, is Leo at Campus Body Salon. It doesn't sound like a place you get your car fixed. A salon, body salon. People. He said people call once in a while. They get, can I get a nail appointment or something like that?
Yeah, where do you want it?
Anyway, we're helping you today with your car. All you got to do to get involved with the show is call us at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And you can also text us at 411-923. We are going to go with Bill in Mesa. He's got a 2006 Toyota Tundra. Bill, how can we help you on your Tundra?
Yes, I've got about a little over 202,000 miles on it. I took it in about 2 months ago to have the transmission oil changed and all that. And they did that, and I mentioned that as I'm driving down the road, I can hear a little click, click whenever you can tell the transmission's changing gears. And they basically changed it and looked it over, and they found that nothing was wrong with it. But I called them back again and said the same thing, and they wouldn't even look at it without. Well, anyway, what do you guys think? After being, seeing thousands of transmissions, is that something to be worried about or not?
Well, there's a lot more information I would be looking for, like how fast are you going when you hear this click, click?
You hear it with this time of year with the weather so nice. I've got the radio off, the windows down, and when I leave a stop sign that has a curb next to it, I can hear it going from first to second to third to fourth, and it just goes click, 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 and it doesn't hesitate, it doesn't slip, it doesn't do anything. And when I'm going down the road, it's fine. So I don't know.
Well, off the bat, it doesn't necessarily just sound like a transmission problem to me. It sounds like a U-joint problem.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It sounds like a driveline noise of some variation.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you imagine fluid causing that, Dave?
I could not. I could not imagine fluid causing that. So we're just guessing here because noises. We joke. People call us up and they go, "I got this noise. How much is that going to cost?" We say, "Oh, go hold the phone up next to the car so we can talk to it and see what it's going to cost." We joke about that, but noises are hard to diagnose or can be hard to diagnose. So when you go into the shop, you're going to want to. What we do is if a customer's got a noise, put a technician in the car with them, right? So they can go experience the noise with the customer because we hear all kinds of noises when we drive people's cars. We just want to know which one's important to you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're looking for. So yeah, I think there's something loose in the driveline, U-joint, axle, something, who knows, but not necessarily a transmission problem. And this is kind of a funny situation because this comes up all the time, is that people determine in their mind what their problem is, and then they go shopping around. I had a guy the other day, he came in, he said, "Hey, I'm trying to help my niece out. Her car's got a bad transmission. She was pulling in her driveway, and the car just stopped. Won't go forwards or backwards." What do you guys think happened, if you were guessing? Well,
there's a lot of things come into mind.
Well, axle was broken.
Sure.
Right? And so let's get it towed in. Let's look at it. You're going to run around town trying to find a price on a transmission, or the shop that you trust the most to do the transmission, and you don't need one.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do themselves a disservice. This guy here, maybe he'll go trade that truck in because he's got 200,000 miles on it. He thinks he needs a transmission, when in fact maybe he only needs U-joints for $250.
Sure.
So that's one of the things. It's a good call, Bill, and it comes up a lot. So thanks for the call, and you can give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR, We're going to go with Mark in Glendale. He's got an 07 Camry Hybrid. How can we help you, Mark? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
So I was handed down this 2007 Hybrid, and I've been driving it around for a couple months. Occasionally, when I come to a stop, I'll kind of bump my way to a stop, just bump, bump, bump. I still have good brake. Every other time, it's a smooth stop. Is this more the battery being regenerated, do you think, or is it rotors, maybe pads? It's not all the time. It doesn't make any noises. I can only think of maybe the battery. I'm just not familiar with this.
How long have you owned this car?
I've had it for maybe 2 months, but it's a 07.
Has it been like that since the day you bought it?
It was handed down to me.
Okay.
Yes, from day one.
And that's one of the things these hybrids do behave differently.
Yeah,
so
they do.
If you're not used to driving one, that could certainly be a thing, because it's not actually using things about these hybrids. They never use brakes. You're hardly ever doing brake jobs on them, because it's using the generator in the transmission to generate electricity to recharge the batteries. So it is going to feel different than traditional braking.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking. It's a new vehicle to me. It feels a little bit different. But if it's bumping to a stop, I mean, there could be more going on there. You could be having a bad motor mount. Things are moving around in there. There's all kinds of things it could be, and that's something when you go to the shop, again, you want to show the technician what you're experiencing. And I'm a big proponent of that. Even sometimes when I think a customer comes in and I don't necessarily think I need to go for a road test with them, it saves me a ton of time and it saves them a ton of time, because we know it's not convenient to go to the auto shop, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So you gotta get an Uber. Somebody's got to take the kids to school for you. All those things got to happen. So if this guy was at your counter, what kind of questions would you be asking him, Jeff?
Yeah, so you'd ask, when does it do it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it do it every time?
Right.
And then we'd be trying to go for a ride as quick as possible.
Quick as possible, just to get it. Because sometimes people are describing stuff to me, and I'm thinking down one path, and then I jump in the car and I go, oh, that's what you're talking about.
Oh, it's that canning jar underneath the driver's seat. Yeah.
I had a guy come in hooting and hollering that ever since we worked on his car, he had this clunk clunk noise around left-handed turns, and it turned out to be a socket that was turning end over end in his glove box. He was
one like his tire lug socket.
So anyway, you guys do have a guy that's hybrid certified at your shop, correct?
We do. Eric has passed the ASC hybrid certification test, so he's good to go.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, as hybrids become more and more common, if you're looking for a shop to take care of that, Mark, go see these guys. They'll take care of it. Curt's Auto Repair, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. Thanks for the call. We're going to go with, looks like another Tundra today. We got Scott in Chandler. He's got a 2007 Toyota Tundra. How can we help you, Scott? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys, big fan. So I'm calling in regards to the other gentleman that called about his transmission on his Tundra. I don't think it's his transmission, because I've got a Tundra with about the same amount of miles. I just put a brand-new transmission in the truck, and I get that click-click sound. So I don't think it's the transmission. I'm no mechanic. But I was going to take it into my mechanic to figure out what that click-click noise was. But you guys said something about a U-joint or something?
Those are some of the things that come to mind when we hear about a click-click noise when there's a load change in the driveline. So when the transmission shifts, it's obviously going to change the load on the drive shaft and the U-joints and all that stuff.
Well, I usually hear the clicking when I'm at a stop sign or a stoplight and I start to go. It happens a couple of times at a low rate of speed. Besides that, I barely ever hear it.
For sure. Well, on a noise like that, anything that if it's a rotational type noise, you could have something in the brakes going on. You could have a backing plate rubbing up against a rotor. I had a guy the other day come in with a Lexus, and he said, "I've got this noise from my brakes. I hear it when I drive next to walls." And the first gentleman said, "I hear it when I'm driving next to a curb. I can hear the noise bouncing off the curb." So there's literally in my neighborhood there's an alley between two buildings, and we just go drive down that alley. But on noises, is it consistent? I ask people, is it consistent with road speed? So if it's a clicking noise like cards in the spokes, the faster you go in your bicycle, the louder the car, the more consistent it's going to become. So that's stuff where I start thinking of brakes and that type of thing. And the other thing too on these trucks is the slip yokes for the transmission.
Yep.
That's a big issue with when you leave a stop, you get a little clunk to it. And we do have a lot of that stuff that happens. So it's time for Fact or Fiction. All right, I got that thing to play. I'm not very good at these mics in this computer. I got a fact or fiction for you guys. Since you guys work on diesels, this one is kind of related to me because I'm in a transmission shop.
Uh-huh.
But the fact or fiction for today is, can I run my diesel on used automatic transmission fluid?
Can you run it? Yes. Should you run it? No.
Okay.
Very much agreed.
Very much agreed.
Yeah, if it's the old truck, the old diesels back in the day, the indirect injections, we have people that run them off of hydraulic fluid and kerosene, and you can run anything smaller than a dinosaur bone through it and run.
Okay.
Today's injectors are running down 20 micron, 5 micron injector spray nozzles, and
not a good idea.
No.
Right.
It's a good way to spend a lot of money fast.
Well, I know when the price of gas got up there, I had people coming by my shop offering to buy my used transmission fluid.
Yeah.
Because they want to run in their diesel truck. So, and technically, you're not paying the road tax.
Yeah, unless you paid it when you bought the fluid for the tranny.
Anyhow, when we come back, we've got Steve, Richard, and Ron, and maybe time for one more at 602-277-5827. You listen to Bumper Radio.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. We've taken the stress out of collision repair since 1973, and here's a couple of tips to de-stress your repair. Make your own choice. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shop for your repair. Not true. Arizona state law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you. Beware of the cheapest estimate. Typically, it's the one from the insurance company cutting corners to trim costs or focusing on appearance only. At Campus Body Salon, appearance is important, but structural integrity and safety are even more critical. Campus Body Salon, independent, family-owned and operated, and bumper-to-bumper radio approved. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program, where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Curt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Curt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Curt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen from Virginia Auto Service. He decided to take the day off, so today I'm it. But I'm not only it. I've got Curt Rock, and I've also got Jeff Rock from Curt's Auto Repair. They're up at 2222 West Bell Road, and they work on everything, just from the commercial I heard, foreign or domestic, you work on that.
Yeah.
If your car hurts, take it to Curt's. But the other thing you guys do is diesel trucks.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't care where you are in the valley. If you got a diesel and you're looking for a good diesel mechanic, you can go up and see these guys. You know, the bigger the repair, or the more unique it is, the further I would drive.
Yeah.
Yes. And even when I'm shopping for stuff at home, if it's a bigger deal, I'll research a little bit further. I'll drive a little bit further, that kind of thing. And so if you're looking for a great auto repair shop, Curt's Auto Repair is awesome. Now, you guys have been around for 31 years?
Almost 31 years.
31 years. And you guys won the BBB Ethics Award here not too long ago.
15. I think that's the year before you won it, Dave.
Yes. So yeah, your wife was actually on the panel that interviewed me, so I could win.
I guess I didn't get a chance.
There's no collusion.
It's just random people, but the previous winner, you go back and you can serve and that type of deal. So But anyway, well, let's go with Steve in Phoenix. He's got a 1993 Oldsmobile Royale. How can we help you, Steve? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I've been having some problems with my transmission when I start the car. I start the car in the morning and put it into gear, and it won't go. I shut it off, start it back up, and it immediately goes. It never slips when I'm driving it.
So you start it up one time, pull it into gear, nothing.
Nothing.
What if you start it up and let it run for a little while and then pull it into gear? Anything there?
Then it'll go.
Then it'll go by letting it run for a little bit?
If I let it sit there and idle for a while and then go get into it and put it in gear, it will go.
Okay. Well, a couple things come up for me when you're starting a car cold is with transmissions, the automatic transmission fluid expands and contracts with temperature. So if it's a little bit low on fluid, okay, it's going to be extra low when it's cold. So sometimes I'm worried about being a little bit low on fluid. So that'd be the first thing I'd be checking. The other thing that happens with automatic transmissions is sometimes they develop a bleed back problem where, all the fluid from the transmission cooler up in the radiator and from the torque converter runs back into the transmission, and so it takes a little bit for it to prime up. An old Dodge trucks, that was a problem for the longest time. And they put all kinds of check valves in the cooler line to try and make that not happen. But so you could be dealing with a bleed back problem. You could be dealing with a low fluid issue. The other thing that happens is you start to get hard seals. Being that it's a 93, that could very well quite be possible. So what that means is there's seals. It's a hydraulic machine. There's rubber seals in the different clutch drums and things. And as those harden up over the years, they start to have a hydraulic leak. And as they warm up, they start to work better. So any number of things that could be going on there, Steve. Thanks so much for the call. We're going to go with Richard in Mesa. He's got a 2004 Dodge Ram. How can we help you, Richard? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes, guys. Thanks for taking my call. On this particular engine, I was wondering if it's required to do a valve adjustment on the Cummins. And the second question is, since we got today's fuels is 15 ppm, would it be okay to put some sort of additive to the fuel for this particular engine since it's being so old, or can it run just fine on today's diesel fuel?
Yeah, so the first question, do the Cummins need to have a valve adjustment? Yes, they do. So
Okay.
Periodically, I don't know what Chrysler calls for off the top of my head. I would guess 60 to 90,000 miles.
So valve adjustment's a good idea. How many miles are on your truck, Richard?
112,000.
112,000, okay. And your second question was a fuel-related question, and I didn't quite hear what you were asking.
Yeah, today's fuels is 15 ppm. Everybody sells nowadays. On this particular engines, where they were made in 2004, they were made to run on the higher content ppm. So is it okay to run some sort of additive to the fuel, or is today's fuels are okay for this particular engine?
Okay.
It will not damage the engine in the long run.
I don't know. I'll let you guys take over on that question because I'm lost.
Well, I think what he's talking about was they dropped the sulfur content of the fuel.
Okay.
When they went to the low sulfur fuels and all that, and the lubricity dropped during that time. And he's asking on that 04 if his has got if he needs to add something to increase the lubricity. But on the 04, that's a common rail system, so he'll be fine. That was primarily the older mechanical pump. The IDI systems. But if he wants to run something occasionally for the health of the injectors, we like Stanadyne, the Stanadyne additive. I use it in mine and Jeff's. And is there something else you're using too, Jeff?
Again, we're probably partial to Stanadyne. I don't guess this is an advertisement or anything like that. But I know Lucas makes a good product, and there's definitely some other ones out there as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can run a little of that, and it's better. It helps the injectors to stay clean and all that. So it don't hurt to run a good product, but make sure you run a well-known product.
Okay, for sure. Thanks for the call, Richard. We're going to go with Ron in Chandler. He's got an 03 Mitsubishi Spider. How can we help you, Ron? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, the valve covers are leaking on it again. I've had the thing repaired at least 4 times. And why does this thing every 25, 30,000 miles have to have the valve cover?
Are you doing the valve cover repair yourself, or are you paying
No,
somebody?
I've had it back to Mitsubishi at least 3 times.
Okay. And did you ask them the same question, and what did they say?
Yeah, and they said it was a faulty engine design or something.
Okay. Well, I guess you're hearing it from them, but some engines, when they, as they get older, they start to develop a little bit of blow-by.
Yeah, I was wondering about a crankcase pressure problem.
Yeah, I know for us, like we'll be doing transmissions and the rear main seal will be leaking.
Yeah.
If it's an engine with 200,000 miles on it, we get nervous about doing it because it's starting to develop crankcase pressure, and so that can certainly cause oil leaks. But every 30,000 miles seems like pretty frequently we'd be doing valve cover gaskets.
It does.
I don't know. So maybe we try a different style valve cover gasket or a different style mechanic or something along those lines. So you're in Chandler. If if you're looking for a good shop, go up to ADS. You'll find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. Those guys do a great job. Maybe it's time for a different mechanic if you're 3 times on the valve cover gaskets and you only get 20 to 30,000 miles out of them. So that's the direction I would be heading. And during the break or even before the show, we were talking about these diesel repairs, and guys said you do a lot of these injector repairs, correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I asked them how long these injectors last, and they said, well, it's a huge range. They go bad. We see them go bad at 80,000 miles. We see them go bad at 250,000 miles, and it just depends. And what would be the number one reason that an injector would fail prematurely, if you were guessing?
We see air contamination or fuel contamination, which air is the most common fuel contaminant that we see.
Okay. So you guys do recommend, so you do an additive in your car?
Occasionally. It isn't every tank, but we do use additives from time to time, especially if we're road tripping it or something.
Well, thanks, guys, for coming in. If you're listening and you're looking for a good shop that has what I call a family-style auto repair, but is very good with the modern vehicle. Some people think mom and pop, like they can't work on new modern stuff. These guys are top tier. These guys can work on anything. They said anything other than semis. That's too big a diesel. But any of your 1-ton diesel trucks, 3/4-ton diesel trucks, no problem. And your Volkswagen TDI, they can work on that too. So you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. It's Curt's Auto Repair. Again, family-style auto repair. They've been in business for 31 years. Can't go wrong there. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Keegan, for running the dials. And if you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent shop, bumpertobumperradio.com. Remember never to text and drive. And from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great weekend.